Hey guys, how are you doing today? This is Jemin once again signing in, your financial independence, career advancement, and life coach and mentor. And I've been talking about the financial independence framework that I've developed. I have used it myself and it works really well. I think it's a simple four-step model where I've broken that down into one, self transformation, second, career advancement, and business transformation. Thirdly, financial transformation and wealth acquisition and wealth building, and lastly, time freedom through financial independence. Okay, and I've been talking about career advancement in the current series, right? We have already covered the self transformation series, and if you want to know about self transformation, which goes deep down into mind transformation and heart transformation and body transformation, my videos are there. You can go ahead and watch those. Right now we are dwelling on the career transformation. I think that's the most important thing, because just look at it, guys. I mean, if you are looking for financial transformation and financial freedom and time freedom, I think you need to grow fast in your career, right? That's how you will be able to pick up those higher roles, pick up those high paying salaries, and with those high paying salaries you will be able to create assets in parallel, or passive income, which will help you generate a parallel stream of multiple parallel streams of income. Eventually at some point, your parallel streams of incomes, your assets that you've created would generate enough funds on a monthly basis, which can enable you to set you financially free, right? That's what we are working towards. And the second step is very critical, which is the career advancement. And we have been talking about how to define the career goal, both in terms of the roles and monetary goals, with a roadmap, with milestones over a long-term horizon. Okay, so if you want to understand more details about this, how to define these goals, both monetary goals as well as goals related to roles, then please watch my previous video and you will get to understand the step-by-step journey of how you do that. So just to give a glimpse of what we discussed in the last video, is that you need to aim for the top in your domain, right? And so you start with doing your research, pull up some series of some of the top positions in your domain that you aspire to be at the top over a period of time. Right, and maybe it's like you are aiming for a CEO role or a COO role, project head, CFO, or any kind of domain which you are into, maybe head of engineering, head of R&D, right? You need to kind of do your research, pull up some sample series from the internet, and or any kind of source, right? I mean, you need to do your research to understand how does this CV of that top position that you are aspiring to be looks like, right? And then the next step is revamp your CV in line to these CVs in terms of the structure, right? And identify the gaps and start working towards that gap, right? I mean, that's the next stage. And then once you identify the gap, you would need to upskill yourself, right? And that would mean you may need to become some additional qualifications, some certifications, right? And in the process you will need to probably attend multiple interviews, multiple companies, and in the process you will sharpen yourself, and finally you will land up into your dream job, right? I mean, this is just a glimpse of what we spoke about in the previous video, but if you want to see the details around it, please visit the previous video, and you will get to understand a very simple step-by-step process of how you do it. And trust me guys, I think I have followed this and it has worked really well for me. Okay, and I think it is very practical, right? And very simple to implement as well. So please go ahead and do that. Now the next important thing is to ensure that you land up also at a compensation or a salary package in line to your career milestone and the roadmap that you have defined, right? So don't focus on your current salary, right? I mean, normally the industry practices, or for anybody who is like hopping a job, right? The standard practice is that what I will get a 30%, 40%, 45% kind of a hike. That's the market standard, and that is what I should expect, right? I am drawing an X and I get a 40, 45% hike, right? But I think what you need to be very clear about is that whatever number that you have put, right, in your plan, right, you may have, let's say, for example, you are aspiring to be a COO, right, and right now you are probably at a manager kind of a role, right, and you want to probably hit a COO role, which probably pays, I don't know, 1.5, 2, 3, 4 CR in today's context, right? Then if that is what you are aiming towards, then if you have broken that down, broken that journey down into, let's say, 4 years milestone, that every 3.5, 4 years you will change a job, and then you put a number to it, right? That okay, if I change a job, then this first jump should be X percentage of high with this number, right, as your compensation. Secondly, if I do the second jump, then that is what the number should be there at the second jump, right? Where I'm coming from is that you have already plotted down the goal in terms of the role as well as your salary. Now when you land up at a job, then when you are sitting at the table, when you are negotiating your salary with the prospective employer, right, you need to give that number that you have plotted down, right? Do not compromise on that number, okay? Now you may say that, hey, you know what, that number could be probably 80%, 90%, 100%, right? No employer gives such kind of hike. I think that's a myth, right? I think what you need to do is, when you're applying for a role, right, you should have your own research done, that what is that package that normally this role offers, right? And in fact, that is what we discussed as well, right? When you kind of make those plans, right, you need to identify the roles and align, and also corresponding to those roles, right, what is the market competent salaries that are being paid today in the market, right? And there are various websites like Glassdoor and stuff, right, where you can actually get that kind of information. And when you demand in line to the market, market trend, right? Don't demand based on your baseline, right? The reason why they are interested in you now is because they are seeing value in you, right? And you have proved yourself, right? I think you are at the demanding position, and in my mind, you should drive the conversation that this is as simple as that. This is what I'm looking for, and if I'm not getting it, then be it, right? I will probably look for something else, right? But the point is, when the market sees, right, when the hiring manager or the HR of that prospective new company that you are aspiring to join, right, when they see that this guy is bringing a lot of value to the table, as well as he is very clear about what number is looking for, right? He's not very confused about it, right? That's an art, right? And I think you need to stay put at that, and don't just compromise on those numbers, because you are not working. This is just one milestone that you are working right towards, right? There are many milestones that you need to cross to achieve that bigger goal that you have in mind, and that's the goal that you're working towards. And hence, to achieve that bigger goal, this is the number that you have to kind of get to, and that's what you will ask the prospective employer, and I'm telling you, you will get it, right? If you have the right skill sets and right value at the table, and if that number that you're asking for is very much in line to the market trends, immaterial of whatever salary you're drawing currently, you will get it, right? So keep that in very mind, because that is where we make a mistake, because once you kind of enter into an organization with whatever salary that you agree to, then again you get into that meter of that 10%, 12% hike every year, right? Then there is no correction, right? Then there is no correction. So this is a very important step, and you need to be mindful about it, so that you pick up the role at the right salary, because that is what will now be the next base when you aspire for your next jump, right? So that's what, guys, I think that's the very important thing. And make sure that when you have those discussions, please follow this, right? If you're currently in a position where you are grossly underpaid, then you don't stop there, right? You will need to take a couple of hops in your career, right? Meaning, where I'm coming from is that if you believe that there are you're grossly underpaid, right, and your aspirations are huge, right, then sticking around in a company is not going to help, because the company is going to give you only 10%, 15% at the max at a annual basis, right? Then I think the only way to kind of move up the ladder is to do some quick swaps in your career, right? Maybe on an average 3.5 years, right? And keep on moving, right? People may say that, hey, you are not loyal to an organization, right? I think you are probably not loyal to your organization, but you are loyal to your bigger goal, right? Bigger goal, that is what you are working towards. So it needs to, you need to remind yourself that every time you change a job, obviously it is not going to be easy, because you will be moving out of your comfort zone, and you will be trying new waters, new people. You need to create your brand in a new way, because once you move out of a company, then everything is lost, right, from your previous organization. You need to kind of create everything. You need to prove your mettle again, once again, right? But trust me guys, when you do that, I know it's a tough process, but see, your role is growing. You are getting challenged with new tasks, and new things. You need to work with new stakeholders, and in the process, right, you meet so many people, and you are polished in various kinds of skill sets, right? And obviously, one school of thought says that you should stick around with the company, because then you will understand the company in and out over a period of time. Okay, but in my mind, when you do that, Indian companies, I think you may spend 25 years, 30 years, and I've seen people like that, and I've known people who have started their career with me, right? They went into a conventional industry, and then they are stuck around within in that industry for a long time. And if I compare my salaries with them today, I think it is vastly different, right? So I think it's a decision again, right? If you are aspiring for financial independence, I would recommend that you will have to do that. On an average 3.5 years, you would need to move to the point where you land up at a role, right, and a salary which is in line to your career goal. But till that time, right, I think this is what you will have to do to achieve the long-term goal, right? So that's it, guys. I think the point is that it's always hard to kind of make those shifts, right? Because when we are used to and are comfortable in what we are doing, it is very hard to kind of move, right? But I think that is where you need to develop that attitude, right? That I am here to grow, right? And come what may, and I have the skill set, I have that charisma, or whatever you want to call it, right? That commitment, right, to kind of pick up something new and add value, right? And when you work with that kind of a mindset, I think you will achieve the long-term goal, right? So I think this is something that I wanted to share in this video. If you have any comments, please reach out to me. I will be very more than happy to kind of reach out to you, answer your questions, regarding this particular aspect on career advancement. If you like this channel, please go ahead and subscribe it, and hit the bell button, and I think stay tuned for the next video. And till then, thank you very much for watching this video. Good evening, good night, good afternoon, wherever you're watching me from. Have a nice one. Thank you very much, and God bless.